Hello YouTube, I'm David with the David West channel. Well, today, after waiting for 3 days of rain to pass by, I want to go ahead and grind a nice sharp 90-degree spine on my stainless Mora companion. Now, I have done it with a file before, and you'll see videos online of people using a file. And that was on the carbon steel, not on the stainless. I imagine the stainless is even a little bit harder. But when I used a file, I took and I buried the knife up into a piece of wood, and I used the file, and the file was just barely hard enough to file off the material. You could still feel the file wanting to skate over the top of it. So I guess you can do it with a better file. And you might even be able to do this stainless. I don't know how hard this particular stainless is, but I'm just going to use a side grinder. Let me point you down to the table and show you what I got going on. Alright, going to take, and you want to sort of remember which side is actually the side that needs to have a little burr on it. So it's easy to get confused. So we'll put a X right there to show that this is the side that we want good and square, and maybe even have a little burr kicked up on that side. And then we'll take and bury it up into the table. Now when I use the grinder, I'll make some very, very light passes on it to make sure that I'm holding it good and level, and that it's hitting where I want it to hit before I actually make the final passes that grinds down that edge. Now, if I was doing this at work, when I used to work as a pipe fitter for 12 years, I wouldn't be able to use this grinder unless I replace the cord. Unless I put the guard back around the grinding wheel. Unless my drop cord has a little nick in it also. I couldn't use that drop cord. I'd have to use a ground fault circuit interrupter. I'd have to wear gloves, hearing protection. I'd have to have goggles on, and I'd have to have a face shield on. So you can get some idea of how dangerous this can be. If you don't have years and years and years of experience with a grinder, I recommend that you use a file. So let me get you a close-up shot, and we'll go ahead and grind our edge on that. A lot of times it's hard to show you what something isn't, but let's do some scraping. You see, I can get some scrapings out of this edge, this 90-degree spine, but it's not as aggressive as I like it. So I'm going to turn it from a mild scraper into a super scraper. Got a nice burr right there. Let's go ahead and another burr right there. Let's go ahead and use it till that burr comes off and see what kind of a square edge we end up with. I've got about twice the bite I had before I started. So that really worked out great. All right. Alright, it's got about twice the bite on it now than what it did have. It actually has more bite on this side, which I wasn't expecting. because it should have kicked up more of a burr on that side. And this one's almost does as good a job as that side. Let's go ahead and try it out some, then we'll try it on the ferro rod a little bit. Let's break out the pine needles. Alright. And I also want to see how much edge retention on that 90-degree spine that we have after I get done scraping the ferro rod. Oh, I can feel the dampness in these pine needles, so we'll see what happens. Pine needles are not going to stay lit if I don't rotate them. That's another indication of how damp they are, because they'll light right up and go right back out if I don't rotate them into the flame. I can tell by the way it's scraping the ferro rod that that's still good and sharp right there. I could feel it. Oh, it's this is the side we're talking about. I could tell that it's still good and sharp. But let's go ahead and scrape some more bamboo. All right, y'all. I appreciate you joining me on this one. We'll catch you on the next one.